get the call at 2:47 a.m. I do not ask the particulars of the situation. All I ask is a location. Time is of the essence. I pick up the go bag for these emergencies, but hesitate at the door, glancing back at beaded curtains covering the hallway. My daughter is asleep in the other room, but I shake my head. There's no time to wake her. I lock the door behind me. My car kicks up dirt as I screech to a halt at the bank of the river and nearly fly out of the front seat. The body is laid out on the ground under a grove of trees by the Dolores River. Most deaths that occur in our neighborhood are either caused by natural circumstances or animals. Paradox, Colorado lies just on the other side of the Rockies, where mountain lions, bears, and such like to come down to poach for food in the vast farmland. Sometimes that food ends up human. Holding out my hand, the man who called quickly places several bills in my palm that I pocket. No matter what happens tonight, our services are non-refundable. We're not a well-known establishment. We're more of a community secret, well-kept and highly coveted. On the outside, we appear to be one of those cheap fortune-telling shops, reading tarot and gazing into a crystal ball I bought online. It's easy to play the part. Just throw a purple velvet cloth on the table, hang some beaded curtains, light a few candles, and there you have it. Cheap witchery, a well-funded front for the reality of our kind. There used to be many more of us in this town, 20 or so women, all of the same bloodline. But as women do, most of them grew restless and moved away or died. We have a strict policy about dying. If you have to, don't let it be permanent. You could say it's part of our secret menu. The regular menu features things like $25 tarot readings, $20 palm readings, and $50 crystal ball premonitions. Aside from the kitschy tourist services, we provide all sorts of herbs and tonics. For the tourists, we merely give them placebos and save the authentic for those in true need, as resources are scarce nowadays. It depends on what the customer wants and what they think they need to achieve that goal. My grandmother used to say that we don't sell the future, we sell guidance. She'd say that the people who come here don't really believe in magic. They come here because they want to believe the little voice in their head. We become that voice. But for the true believers, those that have been touched by something outside of this world, we don't waste time with flattery and mentalism. We do what we do for ourselves. And for some who truly need us, we provide a very specific service. 5-minute resurrections. As soon as I see the body, I cannot be sure if the death had been an accident or not. The head appears bludgeoned, and the culprit, a bloody rock nearby. Struck or fell, the answer isn't important now. I'm not a detective. I'm a witch. The young man who'd called stands with 2 women, each of them shaking, their breaths puffing out in the cold night air in sporadic clouds. Despite the darkness, I recognize them. They went to school with my daughter. The caller tries to speak, but the beeping of my timer silences him. We must begin now. Barking at the callers to help with the placement of the stones and candles, I get in position at the body's right side. They scramble to light the wicks and stage the stones at the cardinal directions, while I tie a black thread around the corpse's hand and bind it with my own. Just before my timer chimes again at the final seconds, I take a deep breath and plunge myself through the veil. Necromancy is a fine art with very strict rules. The deceased have a limited time in the purgatorial state of judgment, and in our world, that comes out to be exactly 5 minutes. If the caller lied to me and the corpse has been dead even 1 second more, the raising of the dead will either not work or have serious consequences a la zombie horror movie. Purgatory is neither good nor bad. It is simply a place. Souls fill the endless expanse waiting to be judged. I do not know where they go afterward, or even if they do. This is merely a stopping point on a journey you're only supposed to go on once. Shaking off the disorientation at my arrival, I pull at the thread, now dangling loose in my hand. Before, it was black, but in this world, it is a luminous white. Weaving through the tangling of souls, I wrap the line around my palm, searching for its end. The thread remains slack, and my heart begins to drop. There's no connection on the other side. The soul may have already passed beyond judgment, too late to be resurrected. I begin to pull back into the living world when the thread snaps taut, yanking me backward. I cannot see who has taken it. Is it the boy? The excitement that he might yet live urges me to pull and pull before my soul is torn back to the living. Panic rushes through me as I faintly hear the loud siren of my timer telling me to come back now. My 5 minutes is almost up. Staying longer will hurt my own body, but the other end is pulling me so hard I cannot stop my feet. I cannot let go. A hand clasps around mine and I see a face before me. It is wild and feral, lips spreading in an inhuman grin, pleased with what it has found. Fear drains me of all warmth. I shudder, knowing exactly where I'd seen this face before. Even if I'd not seen it in my own visions, I'd know this was the face of my end. I only wonder if it was this intruder that killed me, or the simple act of staying too long that had done it. I suppose that doesn't matter now. I cannot fight the demon as he takes my exit and enters the living world. Instead, I sit alone in purgatory, waiting my turn to be judged, praying that my daughter is safe in my absence, and should this newly resurrected demon seek to hunt her, she knows to run.